Coming soon from Nickelodeon and Paramount Home Entertainment.
Brain blast!
Brand new home videos and DVDs that are so tasty, they're almost good enough to eat.
I think the fun stuff's
Mrs. Puff Trash, Angelica Intrude, Squidward Gaffa. All in their very own home videos and DVDs.
a spectacular afternoon of underwater fun.
You can own videos and DVDs of SpongeBob SquarePants, Rugrats, and Jimmy Neutron, only from Nickelodeon and Paramount Home Entertainment.
SpongeBob's coming to video and DVD!
Yo-ho, the sponge is in town.
With 10 episodes that are something to see.
His body is yellow and his pants are brown.
If nautical tales make you get up and dance.
Jerry's a snail, not a hound.
You'll be splitting your sides, you'll be splitting your pants.
Yo-ho, soaking wet, he weighs less than a pound.
Ahoy, mateys! SpongeBob's a-comin' for the first time on video and DVD. It's nautical nonsense and Sponge Buddies. See SpongeBob himself in all his jellyfish and Krabby Patty flippin' glory.
What a great day.
Love that SpongeBob.
And his first mate Patrick, full of gleeful angst.
I was one of the beautiful people. Now look at me.
And Sandy Cheeks, shiver me timbers. You don't want to mess with that lassie.
Don't you dare take the name of Texas in vain.
You go, squirrel.
And Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Gary the Snail. It's the whole gang from Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob at his finest, I tell ye. Nautical nonsense and Sponge Buddies, two must-see rip-roaring epics.
We give it 4 starfish.
Never before has a sponge been so absorbing.
Tour Bikini Bottom without putting on a wetsuit.
'Tis 10 splashy episodes of SpongeBob at his swabbiest. Nautical nonsense and Sponge Buddies, available now on video cassette and DVD. SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Ah, the sea, so fascinating, so wonderful. Here we see Bikini Bottom, teeming with life, home of one of my favorite creatures, SpongeBob SquarePants. Yes, of course he lives in a pineapple, you silly.
That was a version of the SpongeBob SquarePants intro that most people have never seen. And no, I'm not talking about a creepy pasta, a fan animation, or one of those lost episodes that gets passed around online. This actually comes from the 1997 pilot of SpongeBob SquarePants, years before the show officially premiered. Back then, the series was still being developed under the name SpongeBoy Ahoy, and the pilot episode was Help Wanted. A lot of things about the show were still being figured out, including the opening. The version of the intro we know today, with the familiar pirate captain, the song, and SpongeBob singing about living in a pineapple under the sea, wasn't the version that existed during the earliest production. The 1997 pilot contains an early version of the opening with different animation, different title cards, and other changes that wouldn't survive into the final series. And this is where the story gets interesting. Some of the earliest production material shows just how different the intro was originally supposed to be. At this point, the character was still being referred to as SpongeBoy, because that was the show's original name. But by the time the series was preparing to premiere in 1999, the name had been changed to SpongeBob SquarePants, and the opening was changed along with it. The pilot itself was eventually released to the public on home video, meaning this isn't a case where the entire episode disappeared. In fact, we can watch the 1997 pilot today. But that doesn't mean we've recovered everything. The surviving pilot lets us see an early version of the opening, while production storyboards and other development material reveal ideas that don't appear in the finished broadcast. And that's what makes this case so fascinating. We aren't looking for a completely mythical SpongeBob scene. We're looking at a real piece of early production history that changed before the show became the version millions of people knew. So what exactly did the original intro look like? Which parts actually survived? Which parts were changed? And how much of the earliest version can we still reconstruct today? Because when you put the surviving footage, the storyboards, and the history of the show's development together, you get a pretty fascinating glimpse at the creative process that made the SpongeBob SquarePants that we love. The 1997 pilot gives us a rare snapshot of the series while it was still being developed. The early production material gives us an even better idea of what the creators were experimenting with, and the differences between that material and the final 1999 opening show just how much the series evolved in those 2 years. Lost media doesn't always have to be something that vanished without a trace. Sometimes, the most interesting cases are the pieces that survived just enough for us to know what we're missing. And by putting those pieces together, we can get surprisingly close to understanding what this early SpongeBob intro was supposed to become. But there are still questions surrounding the material we don't have. Could more footage, artwork, or audio from this early version still be sitting in an archive somewhere? Or has the rest of it simply been lost to time? For now, we can only work with what has survived. And honestly, that's what makes lost media so fascinating. Because sometimes, the mystery isn't about finding something that disappeared. It's about figuring out what was there in the first place. Thank you all for watching SpongeBob.